Hello, I thought I'd do a video just showing some of my old work because, as I said in other videos, I don't think many people have ever seen this, or any people have ever seen it. It just got put in a portfolio or in a cupboard, and kind of sad really, because it's not even on my website, and my website has got a very short limit to it because it went out of date years ago, about 6 years ago now, so I'm thinking it's probably going to be taken down soon. So this YouTube channel is going to be really the only place where you can see my back catalogue. So I'm just spending a bit of time looking at some old work, and I don't think anybody's really interested in my work at all. I think there's very minimal interest, but even so, if one person would like to see some things, then that's fair enough, isn't it? So that's why I'm doing it. And also it's nice for me to have a record of it that's out there, just in case somebody might want to look at it at some point in the future. Now this, I'm just going to show you briefly, is from a period when I was at university, which was called Polytechnic then, and shows you how long ago that was. And I still got a grant, which shows you how very long ago that was. And I wanted to be a graphic artist then. I wanted to do graphic novels. I probably wasn't good enough, but I was trying very hard. So I was trying to create, I don't know actually what this was about, this storyline at all, but my work was incredibly dark and very graphic, much more so. Some of it I look at and I think, how did I do that then? I have really no idea. There was lots of very fine rotoring pen going on, I think. Very, 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 oh sorry, camera shadow is going to happen. It's panels, panels in a story that would have been in a graphic novel, but I have no idea what the actual lines would have been on the page to describe the story, so I'm just left with a lot of random graphic images. I must have put so much work into that eye. And there's a fireplace. It's all a bit mysterious to me now. I'm looking at this and thinking, what was that? What was it about? Anyway, yeah. And this portfolio, as with so many other things, got water damaged in the house that I lived in, where the water was running out of the walls, so everything's a bit warped and bent and faded. Never mind, eh? At least you can still see it a bit. Ah! I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, a lot of the work that I was doing for these graphic novels was horror based, and I don't know who he is or why he's screaming or anything, and nor do I know why there were so many pictures of chimpanzees or monkeys in this, but it must have had a theme that has long since, the script of this has long since disappeared, and all I'm left with are the panels with nothing written in them, which is very frustrating. But I think that's got water damage because it looks very smudgy. In terms of the graphic art, I'm very proud of it actually. It's not bad. I think I should have kept going on this, really, but I was young and I got diverted by other things. So yeah, it's just panels with no, you can see the text boxes are in there, but there's no words. This, I do know, was going to be a cover for 2000 AD. I'm going to have to get back up here. I think it was a story called Nemesis. And I actually sent that to them and they were interested. And I don't know why I didn't follow it up. I have no idea. I was actually, as I said, I was at university doing teaching. And maybe I had to go off on a teaching practice or some boring thing like that. Can you see the water damage on there? Oh, it's so sad. Anyway, yes, so for some reason, even though they said they wanted to see more of it and were very encouraging, there's Judge Dredd or something, I don't know, I can't remember now, I didn't follow it up, and my work was very, very fine. It's done with lots of dots, and this is how I used to do my tattooing as well. It was built up with loads of dots, tiny dots. And I was good at faces and people, but I don't know why nothing else ever came of that. And then I've only got one more then, which is very strange. I don't know whether there was ever a story in 2000 AD that featured Annie Lennox, some sort of warped John Carpenter type figure that's got water damaged. Woody Allen. And a man with a Mohican with bits of spaghetti coming out of his head. Can you see a story that would link those things together? But, oh look, all the water damage, it's just heartbreaking. Anyway, yeah, can you see how fine it was? I'm very proud of the fact that I could capture a likeness. If you looked at my rubbishy crop circle art video, although it's really, really basic and rough and raw, that was my main thing. I wanted to be a portrait artist as well. I did do that for a very short amount of time in Manchester, but it didn't really come to anything. Again, I can't remember why. Something else probably came up. But that was really my thing, was faces, and I think that carried on into things like the Everyday Enchantment Tarot, where the faces were very important. I don't think there's anything else in there. Oh, right. And then I get distracted into the whole pagan type, mystical themed art, and everything changes away from the dark horror graphic stuff into this, and I went off on a different angle, and this is lovely. This has got a lot of the same kind of attention to detail and graphic quality to it. Not sure about the Wonder Woman type person in the middle that's meant to be some sort of goddessy figure, but the individual parts of it are lovely. Well done me! There's a shilling and a gig over here. So it's the Wheel of the Year. Fortunately, the person holding the wheel together is not not what I would have put in the middle now, but yeah, the individual pieces are quite nice. They're rather nice, and I like the writing. Anyway, so that's what I went from doing my horror novels to being distracted into that, and I don't really know why. It's a lino print of the moon. Yes, we'll stop there on that one. Moving on to my small book. Right, some things you may not have seen very clearly. The colour version of an illustration, I think, that was in Wild Spirituality, I'm not sure. But obviously in the book you would have seen the black and white version. And not the colour. Again, it's the faces of the people, which are the most important things to me. The old man and his lovely wife. Well, I'm presuming they're married. Why should they be? They might not be. Maybe they're brother and sister. I don't know. Up to you. Anyway, yes. So the attention to detail again. Something you couldn't really tell in the printed book version. Can't really... Yeah, so that's nice. Again, this was in, I think, in my book Wild Spirituality. Black and white. Here's the colour version. People's faces being the primary source focus, even though everywhere in these images there are creatures, there are creature kin everywhere, and unseen beings and all sorts of green, spirited, growing things. But the faces, I think, are my strength. I think I can say that. You've got to have one, haven't you? So, oh dear, the light's shining on that now. I should have taken them out of the book, but I did not. That's something you've seen in another video, so we'll just leave that one for now. And that, again, is the Wild Spirit revamp. So we'll just concentrate on the ones that you haven't seen so much. This is also from the Wild Spirituality book, where you're seeing it in colour rather than black and white. It's free hugs. Two chaps in the street, in the high street. It's meant to be just empathy and compassion at work, wherever we go, was the theme. And this was also in the Wild Spirituality book, but obviously you couldn't see the detail in the black and white. You've got a lovely bee there. It's kind of a green man coming through the hawthorn. Or just a gardener looking through his plants. It's up to you. I never prescribe what people should think about my work. I like to leave things open for interpretation. But it's nice that you can... Oh, there's a shield bug there. Look at that. There's lots of different... There's so much in each picture. It's kind of crammed in. Unfortunately, you can't really see the whole... There. I really like his eyes. I don't think that his nose is the right size, but that doesn't matter sometimes. It's not absolutely accurate. I think it's more the mood that he projects. And it's again, I look at things sometimes and I just think, wow, did I do that? That's pretty okay. Well done me. This has got a card in front of it. I had a series of cards printed up, and should I take it out? There we go. There's the original. This was called Thy Garland Green, and it was a response to the hedgerows that get hacked down every year by one of those awful threshing machines that just snaps off all the hedgerows just at the time when the birds need that for the winter. And it was my response to that, about keeping the hedgerows the home for all the wren and the ivy. There's a little bird there, and there's a green spirit down there. And the line "Thy Garland Green" came from an Emily Bronte poem, which is where I got the inspiration for it. But I also was getting really hacked off that just as the hedgerows were full of autumn, they were just getting smashed down and diseased because they were being brutally broken, and that still goes on now, I think. Well, I know it does. Anyway, there's another one from the Wild Spirituality book in colour. A woman at twilight watching the foxes playing, something that I have been honoured enough to do myself, watching a family of 3 foxes playing. Beautiful sight, and see how happy she is. She attracts her friend's attention to what's going on. I think my favourite time, the twilight, is always so inspirational. The wild beings dancing, the little foxes playing, and the face of the lady. Aware of time, so I'm just going a bit quicker. This is another one from Wild Spirituality. I love her face. Hope you can see that. Lots of older people in my images. There's a beech wood in autumn, some unseen beings behind there, badger, young girl, old lady peeking around, fungus on the tree, the fly agaric mushrooms, all the autumn. Oh, I think there's some magic mushrooms, psilocybin down there, and why not? Yeah, it surprises me sometimes when I go back and look over these things. It's a shame that they won't be seen. Well, I think it is. I'd probably get one view or something. But anyway, one view is more than it's getting being stuck away in a cupboard, isn't it? Now, this is a standalone piece, which is called Forgiveness. Obviously, it speaks for itself. I'm going to hold it back there. It's a man on his knees asking forgiveness of his creature kin, the rabbit, the pig, the lamb. The lamb especially important at this time of year. The cow, the horse, and the sheep. Not that we eat all of those creatures, and the pheasant. Some of them are hunted, some of them are raced in a horrible way. All of the farmed creatures are kept in a way that is contrary to nature. And there's some chickens down there who have a particularly hard time of everything. The pig, this intelligent, beautiful creature that has such a horrible experience in a factory farm, and sometimes in any farm. Yes, so he's asking forgiveness. I like it. That's another Wild Spirit revamp, so I won't look at that one because we've already seen that one. Time is getting on. Yes, another one from Wild Spirituality. lady in the rain on the moors while her friend or partner is building a stone, balancing stones on a moorland tour. In the background you've got horses and a crow or a raven, I'm not sure which, and a buzzard, and the lovely colours of the storm as the rain falls, but she's still out there enjoying it to the full, loving the moorland, and who can blame her? There's a twisted gorse bush there. Yeah. That one again is from the Wild Spirit revamp, so I won't focus on that one. Not too happy with this one, but the idea was dream big and a handful of stones shaped like a heart. But I wasn't very happy with this. This was from Wild Spirituality again. There's a group of people on a beach, and yeah, I like him. He's got a lovely face. I like the hands with the stones. So you would never have seen this if I hadn't have done this, would you? Not in the same way anyway. Oh, I've got the green being over there. Again, 2 more Wild Spirit revamps. You can watch those on other videos, so I'm not going to focus on them. And again, the Transformation Wild Spirit revamp. And another forgiveness image. This time, a group of people bowing before, or on their knees before their creature kin. Here we've got a whole range of ducks and pigs and rabbits and hares and foxes, obviously, turkey, donkey, deer and pheasant, and they're all asking forgiveness. Let's have a look at them a bit closely. Lovely, tranquil, peaceful feel to it. That's the man's hand on the pig. Act of communion between all creatures of any species. But in the background I couldn't help but put in one of those masts to show, and the sky, the mess of the sky, to show what damage we still do to the land and its inhabitants. Just come back from that. Running out of time, so just flip through quickly. Yeah, this is Solstice Saviour, done for the Hunt Saboteurs. Speaks for itself. Rescuing the foxes. I can't remember who I did this for, but it was to show how hypocritical the huntsmen were about the way they keep their hounds. In the front, the man in the red, in the foreground, he's loving his dogs and being lovely, and in the background you see some images I took from real photographs of how they really do treat the dogs with disdain. Just dragging the carcass off there, one been hit in the road, again dragging them away. I think is it Hunt Watch? It might be Hunt Watch that I did this for. They're on Twitter. They did use this, I think, just to highlight that issue of hypocrisy with how these people pretend to love their animals. I'm gonna have to stop now, I think. That was oh, I've forgotten the title. Maybe I'll stop there and come back when I can remember the title. Okay, that's enough. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.